The regular meeting of the Governing Board of Education is called to order by myself, Dr. Joseph Komorowski, at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, February 24, 2026, at the District Office Conference Center. Approval of the agenda. Are there any requests for changes to the agenda? A call for motion is second to approve, and I'll be the first to say I'd like to pull action item 2. The new online textbooks, Cognitive Digital Textbook Database. I thought I was going to be able to look at them all hard copy. They're all online. Didn't have enough time. I've asked the superintendent. She said it's fine. So I'd like to pull that item, bring it back next meeting. Any other changes? Mr. Schwartz.
Yes, I'd like to remove info and reports item number 4. Disagreements between board members should be settled according to board governance handbook policy, not aired in public at open session meetings.
All right, you want to remove 4?
Yes.
Dr. Komorowski, I was going to remove that as well.
Okay.
I just wanted to inform the board that I'd sent that letter without violating the Brown Act.
Okay, so we have consensus. I agree. So we have 2 items, Cognitive, action item 2. We have information and reports 4. Any other changes?
Yes, I would like to remove N, action item 1, adoption of revised bylaw of parliamentary procedure. I've not had a chance to have this looked at by my attorney, and so before I can vote on it, I have to find out if there are any legal or constitutional issues, which I believe do exist with this item.
Okay.
I second.
Okay, second. So let's do this. Are those the only changes?
Yes.
Those 3? Let's vote on this last one. There's a motion and a second. Lene, would you call roll on this? This is to be clear to remove action item number 1.
Wiersma?
No.
Anderson?
No.
Barham?
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Komorowski?
No. Okay, item stays. And then with the sweeping vote, we can approve the agenda.
Oh, I had one more.
Oh, Dr. Anderson.
Just when we get to some of the policies, there's a few that I worked on that other board members, can we just have a minute to, if we want, when we get to adoption of second read? So like graduation ceremonies, can I have 1 minute?
Yeah, we're going to,
I didn't know if I should bring that up now or later.
on information or reports, we have 2 minutes times 2 minutes for each item as a whole. So you'll have time there.
Okay, and then my last one is, and I'm open to this, but if the board wants to consider moving action item number 12 to information so that we can get all our ideas together and then either create an AR or a board bylaw for 9323, and then we'll have it written. We could write it out and have it documented.
All right, Dr. Anderson's requesting reorder the agenda for comments to be put into information and reports.
But we don't have to. It was just so that we could, after we discuss and come up with like what we want to do, I would like to have a bylaw that we can enter officially into the record.
Any other board members? I don't care if it stays on action.
I'm sorry, I don't see the item she's referring to. Could you tell me what it is?
12,
please?
reorder the agenda for
12?
comments. Mm-hmm.
Action 12?
Action item 12, yep.
Just give me 1 second, please. Action 12.
Dr. Anderson wants to remove action item 12 into information and reports.
For what reason?
Rather than vote on it.
And then bring it back and then write a bylaw because I think we're going to discuss it and come up with a plan. Once we have that plan, I would like to have a bylaw or an AR written and then adopted at the next meeting. But it's up to the board.
I'd like to vote on it tonight, but that's just me.
I would second your motion to remove it and move it to the next meeting.
My question on that was, you've got a Wiersma proposal and you've got a Komorowski proposal. So if we were going to vote on that tonight, are we voting on Wiersma proposal and separately from Komorowski proposal?
That's up for the board to figure out. Do they want either or merge? Yeah.
I would like to vote on it tonight, but I would like to see those proposals separated.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's merits to both,
Okay.
and that's my proposal.
So we got, okay. Jen, looks like you're going to be the tiebreaker on where you want it.
So my
And we
thought
don't need to get
is,
into the parameters. We just want to know, do we want to keep it on action or keep it in information? But the rules of debate will apply there. We'll have plenty of time to discuss it on action and on information, 2 and 2 each. So, oh wait, excuse me. Yeah, on action, yeah.
so my thought is keeping it in action. I think having the two together was to discuss all of it in context and figure out the best suggestion, which would be editing the motion based on the discussion and then moving forward. And I think if there's an AR or a bylaw or anything later, we could always revisit it. If there's 3 of us that want to just have it as an action item, I think we could just move forward with that.
All right, I'm for action, so it's going to stay under action. and
Excuse
then-
me, we have a motion and a second to postpone it. Can we vote on it, please?
Oh, excuse me. So who motioned?
Dr.
Anderson.
Anderson made a motion to postpone it. I set, to the next meeting, I seconded it. So unless we're doing amendments,
So
We should
we're
have a
talking
vote.
about reordering
Yeah, the motion,
item 12, and then you're talking about pushing it to another meeting?
she
Yeah.
said to move it to the next meeting.
I motion to move it to information reports.
Yeah, not to
Write a
the next
bylaw
meeting.
and bring it back in action at the next meeting.
Yeah,
So not to discuss it, just to move it to information and reports.
but to discuss
And
it.
that's what I seconded. Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll vote on whether this moves into information reports.
Perfect.
We have a motion second.
Yes.
Wiersma,
No?
Anderson,
Yes.
Barham,
No.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Komrosky.
No. Okay, item stays in action. Now for a sweeping vote for approval to the agenda.
I have one more suggestion for a change. Can we move general public comment to the front of the meeting?
I would second that.
I'd like to do that.
Do we have any third takers?
That would be after student comment.
And we have 2 noes from Mr. Barham and Mr. Schwartz. You're
I
the
was
tiebreaker.
contacted by a teacher that asked when public comments was, and I told him it was at the end of the meeting.
Okay, then,
So mine's no.
okay, so that doesn't go. And I'm trying to
Dr.
get all
Cross,
this, yes?
Can I be recognized?
Yeah, Mr. Barham.
So I just want to be clear on how it's going to proceed when we get to the item on subcommittee goals. I'm assuming that it's one item and that the rules of debate will be 2 and 2 for the whole thing.
Correct.
And not 2 and 2 for each goal.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so then we have the cognity, which is action item 2 pulled, and then we had one more. Number 4 in information, that's right. Okay, so do we have a motion and a second to approve with those amendments?
I move.
Moved by Dr. Anderson, seconded by Mr. Schwartz. Lene, would you mind calling roll?
Wiersma,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Barham,
Yes.
Schwartz, Komrosky.
Yes, motion adopted 5-0, so the agenda is approved. And announcement of closed session items in accordance with Government Code Section 54957.7. The board will now meet in closed session for consideration of the items listed in Section E. Didn't ask. Do we
Sorry.
have comments?
We
on
have
the
3
floor?
public comments.
Okay,
First up is Rob Claus, followed by Edgar Diaz.
okay.
Get rid of this.
Green means go.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, thank you. My name's Rob Claus. I'm a teacher at Chaparral High School. For consecutive years, we've had negotiations linger well into the spring semester, which is a sign of dysfunction. TVUSD lags in timely settlements, and we've now reached a point in which teacher compensation is no longer competitive in our district. This is bad for morale, bad for recruitment, and bad for the district. As things stand today, a veteran teacher in Marietta will earn about $10,000 more this school year than a veteran teacher here. That's $8,500 in salary and $1,500 with the off-schedule payment. This discrepancy has a lifetime of consequences. For years, our veteran teachers have been $2,000 to $3,000 behind Marietta, and we were told that the structure of the high school schedule was largely responsible for this. But that compensation gap has now tripled, and we need to find out why. We're much larger than Marietta, so we should achieve efficiencies due to our scale, but we aren't. Yesterday at Chaparral, a colleague with 5 years of experience and an excellent teacher told me that he will be applying to Marietta this spring because the long-term compensation is superior over there. This has happened before and will certainly happen again. Most TVUSD teachers beyond year 13 have lost 4.7% of purchasing power this year, the 2% pay cut in July and 2.7% inflation. This is tough in an era in which affordability is a leading national discussion. The unaudited actuals in September showed an ending fund balance millions greater than what was projected in June, so we're not broke and our reserves are robust. School Services of California always claims the sky is falling, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Marietta does not have a significantly different socioeconomic profile that would create dramatically different funding. In fact, we have a few school sites with a Marietta address. As our enrollment has gradually decreased over the years, DO staffing has exploded. For example, for much of my career, we had 1 or 2 directors in ESS. Now we have enough directors to field a basketball team plus a couple reserves. Yet enrollment has decreased. You'll recall that Rancho Vista High School used to be housed at the DO. That could never happen again because we filled this facility with so much staffing. It's time to take a serious look at where our inefficiencies lie and take steps to get things on track. Perhaps we need DOGE in TVUSD. In 2016, the board approved a large increase to the executive salary schedule in order to attract and retain the best talent. If this goal has been fulfilled, then we should have timely settlements and competitive compensation while maximizing opportunities for students and value for taxpayers. Let's work in a cooperative rather than adversarial manner to get this done. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Edgar Diaz, followed by Kimberly De La Cruz.
Turned it off. Good afternoon, staff and board members. Edgar Diaz, President of Temecula Valley Educators. Educators made a commitment to TVUSD and the students of Temecula to be able to do what you ask. If there's a program change, if there is a pilot, if there is responsibilities that we need to take on. And part of that commitment that the board makes is to make sure that they plan to support not only students, but also the employees that work here. At the moment, TVUSD is a race to the bottom. I mean, the literal bottom, as far as comparables to our districts around us. Employees have increased in cost as far as what they have to pay for and be able to live in this area, as Rob Kloss just mentioned. Medical contributions by employees have skyrocketed. I know I came to this district because it was free for a family for medical care. Now most of our people are paying $1,000 to $600 to $500 to cover their family. So in reality, when we're looking at compensation over the last couple of years, it's been a pay cut for most of our people. We are the top performing district, as we keep being told. We are a family, but yet we don't put together a plan to appropriately compensate, give fair compensation to the employees of this district. A few years ago, TVUSD and every single other district receive a 2% increase to the base LCAP funding formula. We had settled early. And when we went back to ask for it, they're like, oh no, we're not gonna make that happen. That's not gonna be part of the table. And you know, part of it I'm okay with because that provides the district some flexibility. And we can always go back to what the COLA is there for this next or this current year. But when a district can't even put together a plan on how to provide ongoing compensation to its employees, it becomes very difficult for employees to want to continue to work here, as my colleague Rob Kloss also mentioned. We will become a district that brings in younger teachers, and they will go to another place to become seasoned veterans. That is not what Temecula has always said they're going to be. So if that's the kind of district you're looking for, please don't add more compensation to employees. Don't add to the district contribution for medical. Just let us know that we are priority 0, and there's not going to be any plan to help our employees say that they are proud to work here when they have no ability to be able to support their family goals, to live in this community, or to support their families during medical conditions. I'll have more comments on medical leave at the spotlight.
Last speaker, Kimberly De La Cruz.
Okay, so I just want to agree with everything the past 2 speakers said, and I didn't prepare anything formal tonight. But when I look at previous years with funded COLA, there were many years where COLA came in and we settled at a much higher percentage than COLA. So at one time, this district actually cared about teachers and our well-being and our health to provide us with COLA more than what the state provided. Now we're at a point that teachers are working harder than ever, and the compensation package that has not been settled for this year, it's absurd. And if you think we're going to take anything off schedule, we need to think again, because that does not help cover costs on a daily basis. As you all know, prices are rising, our medical went up, and we are earning less now than we were a year ago. So please consider this as a priority with your actions by providing us with a decent compensation package. Thank you.
Okay, that wraps up comments. We'll now go on to closed session.